Are Liverpool in the Premier League title race? In this video, I'm going to break down 3 major factors why I think Liverpool are in a massive title race. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. We'd really appreciate that. Let's just break down very quickly an overview of where Liverpool are. They're only 3 points off Spurs. A really poor result against Brighton, with all things considered for Liverpool. They probably went to Brighton thinking they could have won that game. Weren't great, weren't at their best. But obviously reeling from that Spurs decision, which I still think has massive repercussions in the Premier League for how bad that decision was, and definitely for Liverpool's form. Off the back of that, they're still 3 points off of Spurs, and then they've got Everton, with all due respect, who are on 7 points, nearly bottom of the table, who I think have been absolutely dross this season. So we have to, start the video by just saying Liverpool are in an amazing position because they've been robbed from a win. That win at Tottenham, by the way, would have taken them top of the table very easily. And then you look at the run of fixtures that Liverpool have got, because we all know that once Liverpool get going, they're very hard to stop. Everton at home, they've got an incredible, nearly perfect record at Anfield against Everton in the last even 20 years. It's one of the most one-sided derbies ever. Obviously Forest at home, Luton away, then we're looking at Brentford at home, and then City away. Now all of the games leading up to Man City are 3 points for Liverpool. I think the international break for a side like Liverpool, I know they're going to have a lot of players going around the world to play for their countries, but I also think Klopp likes Liverpool sides when they get back from the international break. It's also a time to reflect, a time to kind of readjust. I think Liverpool don't have to readjust too much. I think they've been absolutely fantastic, and we're going to run through the 3 reasons again why I think Liverpool are in the Premier League title race. This video is brought to you by Surfshark, the #1 VPN in the world. I've been using Surfshark for a massive amount of time now to be watching football wherever I am on holiday. Also, you can check those Twitter highlights when you're in different countries using a VPN like Surfshark. And of course, the big one, lads. You're on holiday and you want to watch Netflix, you want to watch BBC iPlayer, maybe a bit of Wimbledon in the summer. If you're not in the country, then a VPN like Surfshark allows you that freedom to do whatever you want on the internet, but at the same time, it gives you massive security. Surfshark has so many features that clears out things like viruses and obviously checks your usage across the internet to make sure that things like hackers and breaches of your personal information are not happening online. It's an unbelievable service, very cheap. If you use the code Buvey112 in the promotional checkout section on the website, you get a massive 3 months fully free. And after saying all of that, Surfshark has a 30-day money-back guarantee. That's an unbelievable deal. That's a massive thank you to Surfshark for backing the channel. Make sure you check it out. Link in the description down below. Right, the first factor we have to talk about, Mohamed Salah. He's been almost unplayable this season. I have seen a dodgy tweet saying that he's better than Cristiano Ronaldo at Man United. Weird. But apart from that, he's been world class, and he has been for many years now in the Premier League. 5 goals, 4 assists in the league. That's a goal contribution, more games than he's actually played. He's only played 8 games, created 9 direct goals. He's been absolutely incredible. There are sides that win the Premier League that are disjointed. They got massive gaps. I'm thinking of an old John Terry playing for Mourinho. He played every single minute of that Mourinho side. I'm thinking Fabian Delph at left back for the Centurions. No side's perfect, right? And this Liverpool side are not perfect. But if they can build this kind of camaraderie, defensive unit, and just give the ball to Salah, I know it's quite a rudimentary thing to say, but give the ball to Salah and he will find a way of making Liverpool incredibly dangerous, if not one of the most dangerous sides in Europe. That's not reflected this season because obviously they're playing Europa League football, but I still think this side in the Champions League would be ripping it up. There's no question about it. Last season's form was really poor from Liverpool, but then you look at the back end of this calendar year, obviously taking out the kind of summer interval, they lost to Real Madrid, they lost to Bournemouth 1-0, and they lost to Man City 4-1. Apart from that, they've been almost untouchable in the league. Now, I'm not going to count the Spurs result. I'm just not. I know it's ridiculous. For me, it's a conspiracy theory, right? Some people don't count the people landed on the moon. I don't count what happened at Spurs. I think Liverpool would have won that game, at least drawn it. So apart from that, Liverpool's record since that kind of weird blip where they lost to City in April, that's one, but the main one being losing to Bournemouth, losing to Real Madrid. Since then, they've been absolutely impeccable, and Salah's been a massive part of it. Your world-class players stand up for you, especially when you're at the weaker end of where Liverpool used to be. With all due respect, they're a side in transition. They don't have prime Fabinho, prime Van Dijk anymore, but those players can all rise because of Salah. Gets them an opportunity, a get out of jail card. That's the reality of the situation. My number 2 factor is Liverpool's midfield. I've been raving about it for months now because a lot of people question Liverpool's ability to rejuvenate their midfield as quickly as possible, revolutionise their midfield, some would even say. Henderson out the door, Fabinho out the door, Naby Keita, Oxlade-Chamberlain. And these are net positives for Liverpool because they haven't just got rid of them and replaced them with squad players or just kept Curtis Jones or played Curtis Jones more. They've actually signed some unbelievable players. And for me, the Liverpool side that won the Premier League last, the Champions League last, of course, Mane, Salah, Firmino, of course, course, but it's all about the midfield. It's all about the workhorse of that Jurgen Klopp midfield. And Dominic Szoboszlai has been a massive part of that. Despite the world-class goals he's scored, a couple already from long range, one of them looking like Ronaldo against Porto vibes, against, I think it was Leicester City in the League Cup. But apart from that, he is a powerhouse in midfield. He links up defence, he links up the attack. And obviously, Liverpool's big Achilles heel is their defensive situation. Konate's not quite come back to either confidence from Jurgen Klopp to play him or full fitness. Trent can still get exposed a little bit, and Van Dijk's not the same player. That's the reality. But if the midfield can protect that back four, I think Endo's got a big role. I know he's not been a massive kind of favourite from football fans in terms of saying he's been an incredible signing. Not really played much, but given Europa League opportunities, he had about 10 minutes against Spurs. If he can maybe come into the fold and just give some legs to the Liverpool midfield, even in the final 10-15 minutes, that's an aspect to Liverpool's game. And even Curtis Jones. Now, I know people will be slagging him off for getting the red card. I think it's an absolute embarrassment. It shouldn't have been a red card. And he's actually had such a good season, if you include the back end of last season. He's had a good calendar year, Curtis Jones, that I think Liverpool's midfield have got so much more energy. Harvey Elliott's impressed as well than last season. So I think Liverpool's midfield has the ability, if everyone stays fit, can build around Szoboszlai, feed Salah, especially get the ball to him early, up the pitch. That's what Liverpool were so good at doing. Getting the ball back and just swarm inside and getting that ball into Mohamed Salah as soon as possible, and his pace just kills opposition side. The second factor has to be the midfield starring Dominic Szoboszlai. What a transfer. My third factor, I know this is a bit of an abstract point and it's almost vague to say it, but it has to be the manager. You rank all the managers in the league. Pochettino's fantastic, Thomas Frank's fantastic, Ten Hag okay, decent, even Ange Postecoglou. Jurgen Klopp could manage Germany tomorrow. I think he'd get them a result. Manage Real Madrid tomorrow. Manage Barcelona. I think he could manage Man City and always be the same level. He's the best manager in the world pound for pound. He's the Floyd Mayweather of boxing, and Guardiola's probably the Mike Tyson, just he's bigger than Floyd Mayweather. What he's able to achieve with the size of the squad that he's got. Jurgen Klopp, what he's getting out of some of these players is absolutely incredible. Even someone like Matip, who's still kicking about. Liverpool didn't have the budget to go and spend X amount more on maybe Caicedo or another centre-back. And even someone like Matip's coming in, they've still built him up. I think he's way past his sell-by date, with all due respect to Matip. And he's still putting out good performances. Someone like Joe Gomez. Klopp's working with these players and they've still got a shelf life. A lot of these managers would have got rid of a lot of these players a lot earlier because they aren't good enough for Liverpool. A bit like the Alex Ferguson situation when they had Obertan and they had an old Michael Carrick, and Park Ji-sung was never really good enough, was he? Darren Fletcher. But Ferguson, he rose the tide and all the boats rose with it, as they say. Andy Robertson kicking on and getting better and better. It's all down to Jurgen Klopp. If there's one guy that can strategically plan Liverpool to win the Premier League with the squad they've got, I still think they've got massive gaps in the squad. Everyone stays fit with Jurgen Klopp still being available to do so. Liverpool are a major force this season. Who are the managers that can win 13 games in a row in this league? There's only 3. I don't count Arteta necessarily because I don't think they've shown it, but it's Guardiola and Jurgen Klopp. Very keen to see what you think in the comments down below. Thanks again to Surfshark for backing the video. If you're a Liverpool fan, let me know. Have I been gassing? Are you favourites to win the league? Do you think you've got a chance? Or is it far more open than you give it credit for? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'll see you soon.